Schloss Weimar is a Schloss in Weimar, Thuringia, Germany. It is now called Stadtschloss to distinguish it from other palaces in and around Weimar. It was the residence of the Dukes of Saxe-Weimar and Eisenach, and has also been called Residenzschloss. Names in English include Palace at Weimar, Grand Ducal Palace, City Palace and City Castle. The building is located at the north end of the town's park along the ILM River, Park and der ILM. It forms part of the World Heritage Site Classical Weimar. In history, it was often destroyed by fire. The Baroque palace from the 17th century, with the church Schloss where several works by Johann Sebastian Bach were premiered, was replaced by a neoclassical structure after a fire in 1774. 4 rooms were dedicated to the memory of poets who worked in Weimar: Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, Johann Gottfried Herder, Friedrich Schiller and Christoph Martin Wieland. From 1923, the building has housed the Schloss Museum, a museum with a focus on paintings of the 15th and 16th centuries and works of art related to Weimar, a cultural center. History. The building has been developed over the past 500 years. The first building on the site was a medieval moated castle, which was first documented at the end of the 10th century. After a fire in 1424, and again from the mid-16th century, when Weimar became the permanent residence of the dukes, it was remodeled. After another fire in 1618, reconstruction began in 1619, planned by the Italian architect Giovanni Bonolino. The church was completed in 1630, where several works by Johann Sebastian Bach were premiered between 1708 and 1717. In the 1650s, Johann Moritz Richter was engaged by Wilhelm, Duke of Saxe-Weimar, to modify the design to a symmetrical Baroque structure with 3 wings, open to the south. After Wilhelm's death in 1662, the new building became known as the Wilhelmsburg. The chapel was called the Himmelsburg. The building was destroyed by fire in 1774. Duke Karl August formed a commission for its reconstruction directed by Johann Wolfgang Goethe. Architects Johann August Ahrens, Nikolaus Friedrich Thuray and Heinrich Jentz kept the former walls of the east and north wings and created a classical interior, especially the staircase and the banqueting hall. Decoration was supplied by sculptor Christian Friedrich Tieck. In 1816, Clemens Wenceslaus Coudray began plans for the West Wing, which was reopened in 1847 with a court chapel. The wing contained the so-called Dictissima, initiated by Duchess Maria Pavlovna. They commemorate Christoph Martin Wieland, Johann Gottfried Herder, Friedrich Schiller and Goethe. From 1912 to 1914, a south wing was added under Duke Wilhelm Ernst. The Herder room was restored in 2005. The restoration of the Goethe room and the Wieland room was completed in 2014. Museum. The building has been used as a museum since 1923. The Schloss Museum presents exhibitions focused on paintings from 1500 to 1900 related to the history of Weimar. The ground floor holds paintings of the Renaissance, especially works by Lucas Cranach the Elder and Lucas Cranach the Younger, and medieval sacred art. The upper floor displays paintings of Goethe's period in representative rooms, and the top floor contains works of the 19th century Weimar Malerschule and contemporary art. Since 2008, the Classic Stiftung Weimar has owned the site with the exception of the Bastille part, owned by the Stiftung Thuringia Schlosser und Garten. Bibliography. Rolf Both Dichter, First und Architektin. Das Weimarer Residenzschloss vom Mittelalter bis zum Anfang des 19. Jahrhunderts. Ostfildern Route 2000. Residenzschloss Weimar, 15 Jahre 15 Millionen Investitionen. Die Grundsanierung in 15 Jahren durch die Stiftung Thuringia Schlösser und Garten. Im Hof Verlag, Petersburg 2009. Christian Hecht. Dichtergedächtnis und Fürstliche Repräsentation. Der Westflügel des Weimarer Residenzschlosses. Architektur und Ausstattung. Ostfildern 2000. Roswitha Jacobson. Residenzschlosser in Thuringen. Kulturhistorische Porträts. Quartus Verlag, Bucher 1998. Willi Steubenville. Schlosser in Thuringen, Schlosser, Bergen, Garten, Kloster und historische Anlagen der Stiftung Thuringia Schlosser und Garten. Ver. Ausbildung plus Wissen, Bad Homburg 1997. Adolf Derber, Das Schloss in Weimar. Geschichte vom Brand 1774 bis zur Wiederherstellung 1804. Fischer, Jena 1911.